And happy Halloween, everybody, from Hustle Studios. It's the Tucker and Kyle Show. Happy
Yes,
Halloween,
yes.
buddy.
Thank you, man. It's quite a scene down here at the Hustle Studios
Oh,
office,
man.
man.
We were not prepared for this today, everybody. So
No.
here's the scene. Downtown Billings, Montana, which is where our show is located in Hustle Studios. There's all the businesses get together on Halloween and hand out candies. This is our first time doing it, and we were underprepared for it. It started at noon. It goes from noon until 5. We've already gone through almost 20 pounds of candy.
Yeah.
And there's still an hour and a half left.
It's a madhouse, man. I should have brought the kiosk down here.
You
after
should have,
seeing this. Jeez.
No kidding.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no
Crazy,
kidding.
crazy.
So, well, anyways, what's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Just entering, this winter weather time, I guess.
Yeah, definitely are, aren't we?
Lot going on.
Yeah, it's been a great month for tops, which is
It
always
has.
fantastic.
Yes.
And
Crush mode.
yeah, absolutely.
And we had the speech yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was awesome, wasn't it?
That's
Be able
the
to go and
biggest speaking engagement I've ever had.
you booked several more off of it.
Yeah, 3 more.
Yeah.
Which is
So
pretty cool.
what we did is we went to one of the Lincoln Center here, and there were a bunch of high schoolers that got together, and it's part of the Family Career
So you
thing
got
that
the
they
name.
have.
I
The
still never.
FCCA, yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
forgot what it all stands for. Family Career and something
That's
Association.
cool.
And yeah, you got to tell the top story. And
And man, it inspired a lot of kids. I now found out that they had speakers that whole day.
oh, really?
From different industries, and I guess like I just blew the rest out of the water.
Oh, awesome.
That was the intel that I got from like.
Yeah, you did a good job.
The teachers text me afterwards and are like, "Yeah, you were by far the best speaker."
Oh, that's
there,
great.
you know.
So there were other small business owners then, or?
I don't know.
Oh.
And also Justin Pierce's daughter was there.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And-
really?
And Justin said that his daughter and like all the people at their table said that was the best speech of the
There
day.
you go, man. That's what I'm talking
Sometimes
about.
I think it's just about being really transparent and relatable. A lot of the times when people go speak and stuff, I don't know. I get it because I've sat in the audience to a lot of things that are
Right.
just boring, blah. It's not relatable. What we did is kind of spark something where it's like, okay, look at me now. I'm a business owner, but then, you chop yourself all the way down to this vulnerable, relatable level that just explains, look, I had negative $500 at one point,
Yeah.
just like many of you, or $0. And we were able to, scrape and really build something to get where we are today. And basically the whole gist of the talk was start now, man, whether it's a lemonade stand or these guys are selling stickers now. I gave my cell phone number out to a ton of them. That was probably a bad idea. They are really blowing me up.
Are they?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
and dude, when I wrote my Snapchat on the board, I got like 65 freaking
Holy
new
cow.
Snapchat
Should've wrote
friends.
your Instagram on
They're
the
all
board.
girls too. I had to tell Danielle, I'm like,
Don't worry about
that was
this.
a mistake, man. They're seriously, I'm getting Snapchats in the
Oh,
bus
no.
and stuff. I'm
Are
like,
you
oh my
really?
gosh.
Oh, shoot.
Well, then I thought about it. I'm like, how does like people that actually have followings on Snapchat, like decent size, they just don't open any like Snap messages. They let people follow them.
Yeah, you can follow
they don't,
and
like,
then they just
engage
see the
with people.
stories and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I know.
I love that.
That was a mistake, but man, isn't that a great beta test to tell us where everything's at right now
Oh,
and why
yeah.
Snapchat
Big
is
time.
working so well?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Well, and that's all that those high schoolers wanted to talk about was Snapchat. That's all that everybody wanted.
that was it,
It was
man.
insane.
Yeah. You don't even give your phone number out anymore. You give your Snapchat,
You gave your Snapchat out.
And I guess, obviously, it's like a very informal thing, too, because they felt so comfortable with me, like, giving out. And even the teachers did. They were like, you got to write down your Snapchat. They all want your
Right.
Snapchat. So I guess it's like,
Which can
It's
be
n-
dangerous
Yeah,
also
it's-
because there's not much. It's less invasive. It's perceived as less invasive
Than a phone number.
Than a phone number.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I learned, I guess. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
man.
Definitely interesting.
I don't know. That was wild.
Yeah.
But anyways, I spent literally like quite a bit of yesterday just going back and forth. Well, what do we need to do to get started? Like, how do we advertise ourselves? That was like one of the questions. I'm
No
like,
kidding. They were asking.
yeah,
that,
I'm
huh?
like, I already
Wow.
told you once, Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Just start there, you know. Snapchat's too high of a initial buy-in
Right.
for them.
Yeah, that ain't
So if
gonna
they
work.
just start on Facebook and advertise $5-10 campaigns,
Yeah.
that's like the best
Gets
route.
their
And then
feet
he's
wet.
like, "Well, I don't," and I'm like, "I just took a snapshot of my pages tab up there." Like, all right, this is something that I can't break down for you. This is what mine looks like,
Right.
but this is part of start now. You have to figure out things that you don't know the answers to. Very, very simple things that you could find the answers to without asking a ton of questions. You know, how do I create a Facebook business page?
Right.
Well, you better start using some problem solving methods to figure out how to create that Facebook page, you know. So that's he kept asking me. He's like,
Yeah. How do you do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Makes
that
sense.
welcome
Yeah.
to business, figure it out.
Ain't that the truth? There's
Yeah,
not somebody to
that's
ask all the
that's
time.
why it is good for those young kids to start businesses, because
I agree.
they're challenged to ask.
Problem solving.
Yeah, they're challenged to like ask the question, how do I market myself
Yeah.
to get a demand going? And then how do I, after I market myself, how do I execute a transaction once I have some demand going? And then how do I profit from that transaction? Because not every transaction is profitable if you have ad dollars out
Right.
there, you know? Those are such good learning things for those.
I agree.
Those
Yeah,
kids,
just for
man.
them to be thinking like
Mhm.
that, you know, on that route kind of is a very
That's why
encouraging thing.
I'm glad that and I'm glad I got the opportunity to speak there. And man, I'm gonna take every opportunity like that
Oh,
because
for sure. Yeah.
it is like
Should.
it's like a commercial
Mm-hmm.
to all these young kids. And
It's the
man,
next generation.
that actually, the Snapchat thing blew my mind. I've never had that many people all
Yeah,
at once
that's pretty
add
crazy.
me. You know what I mean? So to me, I was like, I am not very smart. I wasn't thinking, how come I did not write the app down to get them all downloading the app?
I didn't even think of it the whole time either.
Man.
Yeah.
But the more of these I can do, what a great
Absolutely.
way to build the brand.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
know,
the best
that's
way.
really face to face building the brand. And
So what you should do is take everybody that messaged you on Snapchat and say, "Hey, you want to talk with me further? Download the app."
yeah, true. We need a messenger function on the app.
On the app. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
love that.
I think that's the best way. I bet you our videos will get more engagement,
Yeah.
and that's something I wish I would have touched on too. Is Hustle Studios. I didn't touch on that, and I kind of thought about it when I was speaking to some of the kids after the fact, but I definitely should have touched on that a little bit.
Well, do it at one of the next 3.
It's tough, man.
So,
When you get up there, it's like
yeah.
I don't know.
Everything you have prepared kind of goes by the wayside.
I normally don't prepare anything,
Yeah.
but I really, when I'm speaking publicly, I really go off gut feeling. Like
I do that too.
I know instinctively what's the best thing for me to perform better. And that's when I was like leaning against, like, there's a podium and we were trying to get mic'd up for the entire like talk, but the mic has a wire to it, so I wouldn't be able to move around casually. And I just knew from the get-go, like, my comfort
just weren't
level
gonna
was
make that
not
happen.
there. And I'm like, there's no point in me being recorded perfectly for all this if it's a garbage presentation, you know?
Right.
So I just try to really find like where I naturally feel good about just being extremely transparent and comfortable speaking. And it worked. I feel like that was a better one than
It was better than
the
the other
panel.
one that we did.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I
But
felt
the panel was a little different because, you know, you're amongst experts, like you're
Yeah.
one of.
Mhm.
This one, you know, it's all solely you. So I think
True.
the vibe just feels a little bit more.
Yeah, and a
natural.
lot of the people in the audience at the panel one were more successful than me, probably
Yeah,
too.
right. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily so much of a learning thing. Here,
Yeah.
these are kids that were like,
Yeah,
teach me, I want to know.
True.
So,
yeah, they
And-
were young, impressionable minds.
and I'll take that over a
All
bunch
day.
of people that know more than me.
Mhm.
you know, so.
I guess because in the panel situation, we were speaking to professionals. Sometimes it can come off like I'm better than you, you know,
Right.
even though that's not how I want it to come off. I'm
Right.
just telling my truth and my story. But sometimes it's like
Yeah, it can be
you're
hard.
just in the position where you're speaking to them and they feel a certain way about it.
I agree.
Man, the high school crowd, though, that's like a good crowd to be in.
Oh, yeah. Especially that age group, 17, 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Just getting ready to graduate, get into the workforce, go to college.
Yeah.
Like, that's the next
I
generation
feel like
right there.
they could have benefited from learning a lot of your knowledge, too, though. That's why I was trying to, like, pass off some of the questions to you when they're coming up afterwards.
Yeah.
But
I think in the future, even like as Tops grows or whatever, we could probably co-do some
yeah,
stuff like that
Yeah.
eventually. That when it's not so much has to be Tops story and more of a entrepreneurial, you know, how to start a business type of feel.
That's
So,
actually probably maybe for the class stuff you come out with me. The only tricky thing about it is the more information you give out, you could literally be birthing your competitors.
yeah, I know.
Because
That-
that industry is like ripe for the young kids.
They are,
to-
man. But
chase.
honestly, though, if a handful of kids take that information and run with it, like, and they're
They-
doing it for
it's-
themselves,
It's information you need to compete
there's
right now.
there's so much business in this space.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, if it's an 18-year-old, by the time they catch up to where
Their
I'm
target
we
market's going to
need
be
that.
completely different.
way
than yours,
different.
too.
Who even knows what our company will look like at that point?
True.
So
Because it's
you
all
know,
changing so quickly that
so quickly.
it's
I mean,
nuts.
these kids are probably on platforms that you and I don't even know anything about yet.
I
honestly.
almost told them, how do you market yourself? I almost was like, are you on Twitch? Like, you should do that.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't really be recommending something I really know nothing about.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we want to give a big shout out real quick to everybody on YouTube, by the way, watching us. Thank you for those that
Yes.
have subscribed since the last show. We really, really appreciate it. And if you're listening to the podcast right now, the audio version, if you want to check out what the studio looks like, you can catch the video by going to Hustle Studios on YouTube, subscribing to the page, completely free. Just updates you every time a new video is uploaded. And you can actually check out what the studio looks like and catch the video version of what we're talking about
Yes.
today. So,
Another topic we should probably go over is, how did our YouTube ad transpire?
yeah, it was...
Not the Hustle Studios.
No, I
Tucker
know
and
the
Kyle
tops
show,
one.
but
The tops one.
ad,
So
yeah.
last week we talked about we were going onto YouTube, and so that's what we did. We ran some YouTube content for tops, and it was. So the advantage to it is that the way I ran the campaign is that you didn't pay anything unless somebody viewed it, which is great. The views and the impressions are the lowest I've ever seen, though, for something like that. So.
It didn't spend any of the money even.
It did.
It
It's
did.
spent a little bit. I didn't finish the camp. If you want to just chat for a second, I can pull it up real quick and see what
Okay.
it finished with.
Yeah, I would kind of like to. Interesting. Yesterday, I had some buddies in town that own Fat Shack. There's 20 of them now. When I was in college, or maybe
Fat
like
Shack?
10 or 15 of them. But when I was in college, he moved from New Jersey, where he was leasing out a bagel shop at night, 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., and he was slinging like fried sandwiches out of there. And he started doing like really well. So he opened one in Fort Collins. And here we are today. He's opening one either in Bozeman or Billings.
Is he really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's why him and his partner are here. They have like 6 in Colorado. They have 2 or 3 in Washington, a few in College Station, Texas. That was really, really fun. I went and had hibachi with them last night
That was just last night?
and just picked their brain. Yeah. I also showed them quite a few spaces.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. They really laid some great knowledge for me on how
So-
they grew.
This
everything.
really went up.
Really?
Holy cow.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so this is what we need to talk about. This was going to
Yes.
be interesting. Now, you realize an impression is different than a view,
Yeah.
okay? An impression, somebody doesn't even have to click the ad to
They're
see
just
it start.
scrolling past
They're just
it,
scrolling.
Yeah.
So there was 10,458 impressions.
For how much was the budget spent?
$12.19.
Wow.
Here's the kicker, though.
We had a $200 budget.
Here's the
150.
150. Here's the kicker, though. 178 views.
Oh, that's horrible.
Awful.
But it's so difficult when they're searching for their video for them to want to click your ad.
So this is my question. If you remember, we specifically didn't do the pre-roll because
Yeah.
people usually
Gotcha.
when it appears up, the skip button comes up and you hit that. So we just opted for it pops up in the feed of recommended videos. So I wonder if it would make a difference doing the pre-roll.
We'll
I'm
definitely
not sure.
we'll try it for next week.
Because if
maybe.
it's a good piece of video, people may want to stop and be like, "Whoa, that's
Which we're
different,"
gonna
but-
roll out the talk yesterday
Yeah.
on the pre-roll, should we?
Right.
And then do you only pay on YouTube when they don't hit the skip button? Is that the same thing?
I believe so.
Okay, that'll
Yep.
be interesting to see.
Because I set these views at 30 seconds, I think it was. So you only got charged with a minimum of 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
And a skip button pops up after
crazy.
5. So
That is crazy, man.
10,458 impressions and 178 views out of that. Now, granted, $12. I mean that wasn't a loss by any means.
No,
but
not at all.
so the average cost per view is 7 cents.
That's not bad. It's pretty good.
It's interesting. I
That
mean, it's an
is.
interesting ad product. As we continue to work with it, it'll be interesting to see what kind of content works there.
How many views does our show have last week on it?
I don't want to talk about
Okay,
that.
cool. Yeah,
Not
was,
that.
That
Yeah.
was interesting,
yeah.
too, man. We're just going to have to stay strong and steady on that.
YouTube is one of
grind.
those platforms. It's really hard to grow a following, but it can just take one piece of, something, one video that actually makes it work. So, yeah, for everybody that was listening to our show last week, and we were talking about that's the results. We spent a $150 budget, and it was based on views. So we only get charged if once people view at least 30 seconds. We spent $12.19, got over 10,000 impressions, 178 views out of that. And for our content, it was how to eat a sandwich. Tucker and I a while ago set up a camera at Tops.
This is a really
and
good
went
video.
like it was a real humorish pouring queso on sandwiches. We really just played it up, and we thought that would be a good YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
Like I could picture people sitting there watching stupid stuff like that on
Yeah.
YouTube, and that's what it did. So, yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
sales were high last week.
They're pretty high.
But I don't think people in this situation make a purchase based off of just an impression. So
Since Monday, our phone calls have been way down.
since
weird.
Monday,
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's weird. Isn't that bizarre? The phone's just not ringing very much.
that is weird.
Yeah.
How's online
Not to
orders
say-
looking?
A little down from last week.
Are they?
Yeah. But we had a huge catering order yesterday, so that really helped.
Yeah, for sure.
Huh.
So yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
just
Just
it's-
information.
yeah, it's really just we're gonna keep experimenting with it and trying to figure stuff out on it, and we'll keep you guys up to date along the way, and see kind of what works. It's fun being able to figure out all these different platforms, and some of them we hit gold mines with, and others we don't. So
Yep.
we definitely know YouTube is a place to be. Yeah, our views were garbage last week. That was our first video, though.
It's actually not that garbage. I've seen worse.
Have you?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about on the top side. I'm talking on Hustle Studios.
Yeah.
You've seen worse?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, like zero. Often.
0 views, that would be worse.
Yeah, so at least we're something to
Yeah,
build
yeah.
off of, man.
Yeah, we had 20.
I just think it's
That's
crucial-
organic. That was no.
I think it's crucial to stay consistently posting. If you don't do it for a year,
Yeah.
it's not a fair shot, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, we're already doing it anyways. We might as well upload all these to YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going
Makes
to hurt
sense.
anything at all.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, and if you're watching on YouTube, you know this, but for our podcast listeners, when we ask you to subscribe to anything, even where the podcast is, it's not like you sign up and give us your email and you get spammed or it costs. It's nothing like that. You're just clicking a button to subscribe, which just means you get notified
Yep.
when the newest episode goes
Which
up.
I have been getting notified, by the way.
Yes, I have
on
too.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
and that's really all that it is. It just lets you know, oh, hey, they posted a fresh one.
Not a ton. It's
Yeah.
once a week.
Yeah, it's once a week. So
Once a week, it's 1 second where it notifies, and then that's it.
But a subscriber can mean everything to us as far as, where the show goes on these different platforms.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it really requires a little on your part as a viewer or a listener, but that subscription is worth a lot to us
Yep,
in
I
that
agree.
world. So we really appreciate that. But
Yes.
anyway, that was kind of a catch up on the YouTube ads. We're going to kind of take it back and try to get a little bit of different content this week, and we'll report back next week and
Yes.
see exactly what it is. Before we take off, we haven't been mentioning them lately, and I want to this time. Just want to give a big shout out to Fisher Construction.
man.
You hear them on the
Yes.
podcast at the beginning of the show,
Uh-huh.
and so we just want to say big thanks to them for being a big sponsor of the Tucker and Kyle show. And if you are a business owner in Eastern Montana, where our show is based out of, and you have any construction job, commercial, those are the guys to go to for it. We recommend nobody else. They're fantastic. So
Yeah.
big shout out to them. We want to thank them.
Definitely. They're amazing. Fisher Construction might be building the next tops. Who knows?
That's right. That's going to be
I
exciting.
love that.
Right?
I really like the way that they just do like the no pressure bids. I think that is a testament to the integrity of the company.
It's a big
the way
key.
they approach that kind of thing.
If you drive around Billings right now, which is actually the largest city in Montana, for those that don't know, they have jobs everywhere right now. They have $40 million worth of jobs going on right now. And so they're making a huge comeback in a big way. So,
That's crazy.
anyways, big shout out to them. Tucker, until next week, I'll see you then.